one rental at a time, and this is going to be an odd video. This live stream is really intended for Meet Kevin, someone that is a wonderful individual, someone who's been on this channel before. I just wanted to reach out to him. I've listened to some of his videos recently about Tesla. You know, Tesla being a $1 trillion company in 10 years, still holding a 70% PE and lots of, let's just call it aggressive assumptions. If you don't know anything about me, Kevin, he is a huge bull, huge fan of Tesla. And what I'm hoping to do here is hopefully he can take a minute to listen to this and maybe only and do some of his research about a company that I invested in much the same way as Tesla back in the early 2000s. And back in the day, this company was, or is, it's still around. It was Cisco Systems. And the reason I want to relate this story for Meet Kevin, and hopefully he goes back and reviews this, is I sensed in his review of Tesla going to the moon, $1 trillion in revenue, very much the aggressive stance that I had in Cisco Systems. And it worked for a while. It allowed me in my little stacks, I do not have anywhere near his money, but I was able to turn 7 grand into almost 200 grand, where most of my investing in trading and speculating was in Cisco Systems. Cisco Systems back in the day has a lot of the same traits as Tesla today. Let me explain. Tesla, without question, is changing the world. Without question, unarguable, what they're doing is outstanding. But allow me to relate the same thing that Cisco Systems did in 2000. Cisco was the backbone of the internet. They were the first mover in switches, in routers, in everything that made the internet go. The pipes, the plumbing. And they crushed it. It constantly beat top, beat bottom, beat and raise, as it was called. And their stock went to the moon. They were splitting their stock every year or less. Every, like, doom, boom, split again, split again, split again. You couldn't go wrong betting in Cisco. And again, they were the first mover, just like Tesla. They were changing the world, just like Tesla. But when you start to go out 10 years, I think some of your assumptions, Kevin, are very much like mine, and they bit me in the ass. Not only did I turn 7 grand into 2,000, but my hubris, my arrogance, my stupidity turned that 200 grand into 40. Now, those numbers mean nothing to you. You make that in a day. So maybe you just don't care. But if you turn that into a percentage basis, I lost 70% of my nest egg. That could hurt. So just ask yourself, over the next 10 years, could Tesla get increased competition? Cisco crushed it for 5, 6, 7 years until eventually other companies caught up. And then there was an actual choice to be made. For the longest time, people chose Cisco because you never lost your job picking Cisco. But then there was Juniper, and then 3Com, and all these other things came around. And suddenly they had to fight for revenue. That could happen. You don't think people are aiming at Tesla with the current existing auto manufacturers and new entrants? It's coming. Tesla changed the world without question, but people are coming. Then maybe there's going to be a technology change. I don't know. I'm not an engineer by any stretch. But at some point, you can go in and go, you know what? Tesla is committed to one battery type or battery engineering or however the hell that stuff works. What if there's a technology shift and somebody creates another whiz-bang battery or thing that is cheaper, faster, more reliable? It could happen. I'm not saying it will, but it could happen. And if that happens, what happens to revenue? The other thing that I was really nervous for you, Kevin, when you were running through your best case for Tesla, is you didn't appreciate what will eventually happen to Tesla. Tesla, without question, is valued today as a growth company, as it should be. It's growing, factories are open, Germany, Texas, all these other places. But do you think in a decade they're going to still be a growth company? Do you think a growth company, if your $1 trillion valuation happens, or I'm sorry, $1 trillion revenue happens, that frightened me. Do you know what the company with the largest revenue today is? Last I checked, it was Walmart at over half a trillion. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, half a trillion, 500 billion, 523 billion. To assume that Tesla could be a $1 trillion company in 10 years, revenue, top line, that's some squirrely math. But maybe, who knows? But do you think they'll still have a growth based PE? No chance. They will eventually do the dreaded shift from growth to value. That change alone will take their PE from 100 to 40 or 50. Who knows when that will happen, but it will happen. You can't continue to compound at a growth rate that will support 100 PE when you're a $1 trillion company. That is illogical. That doesn't make sense. Then there are other risks, Kevin, that I don't think you have appreciated. There is no question that some of the value, if not a lot of the value in Tesla, is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a Pied Piper. He has an entire generation following his tweets, and whatever he talks about goes up. There's risk in Elon Musk. What happens if he jumps on a spaceship and goes to Mars? What happens if he gets another harebrained scheme and suddenly batteries aren't interesting? He's going to go do clean water or turn salt water into gold or whatever the heck he's going to do next. He's a genius. When's he going to move on to the next thing? Do you think Elon Musk is going to be so interested in batteries when everybody is doing it? I don't think so. He's going to go on to the next thing. The other thing you have to realize that really crushed people when they were betting on Cisco continually going up, the ones that hold, look at the chart. They had dead money for over a decade. Sure, you could hold, you can have diamond hands, and you can make fun of these paper hands all you want. You want to be a diamond hand in dead money for a decade? How's that feel? Sure, you can call yourself diamond hands, but so what? So in the end, Kevin, do yourself a favor, please go review Cisco systems from the early 2000s. You were probably not old enough to remember what was going on at that point. I think you are making dangerous decisions for your family financially. 42% of your investment in one company that is highly levered, probably on margin based on what I'm piecing together in your conversations. I did it. And I bring this to you wholeheartedly as somebody who lost 70% of their nest egg. For you, it won't matter. You make 100 grand a day on YouTube. Who cares? I care. I don't want to see you do that. So do yourself a favor. Please go look at Cisco systems. Ask yourself what similarities could there be. And I'm not saying don't invest in Tesla. Tesla's changing the world. But God, that video about Tesla being a $1 trillion company revenue and 100, that just frightened me. I think there are so many unwise decisions. And if you just go back and look at Cisco systems, maybe you will uncover some of those other ones. So in the end, it's very odd for me to create a video for one human being that will probably never watch this. But if I can help somebody not repeat a just stupid mistake I did back in the day, now our numbers are not anywhere close. But hey, I don't know. Hopefully this works. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do. I think you're helping people, but man, that was scary. All right, everybody, tag. Actually, that's a good idea. Tag at Meet Kevin in the notes, and let's see if he actually comes and watches this. I have no idea. He's a big time guy. But yeah, that video scared me. Kevin, thanks for everything. Thanks for coming on this show a year ago. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.